Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh in a very good day. So this is our group presentation from group 5. The topic that we are going to discover is SD-WAN for bandwidth and data improvements on the internet. Okay, this is our team members. So first, Abdul Hadi bin Abdul Basri 201068, Nur Ain binti Mat Faizah Risa 200342, Nima Saif, Nurul Nashwa binti Abdul Karim 202713, and Adil Haris Anwar bin Azmin 202788. So this is the content that we are going to go through. First, we have introductions, methodology, problems on bandwidth and delay, segregation improvement, and conclusion. Okay, actually, what is SD-WAN? So, as we know, from traditional router-centric WAN architecture, the SD-WAN model is built to fully embrace application hosted in on-premises data centers, public or private clouds, and such services like Salesforce.com, OT, Dropbox, Microsoft 365, and others, all while delivering the highest level best performance in terms of application performance. Actually, what is SD-WAN? SD-WAN is the short name for Software-Defined Wide Area Networks. Software-Defined Wide Area Networks, as the name implies, employs software to manage and control connection, management, and services between data centers and distant branches or cloud instances. SD-WAN decouples the control plane from the data plane, just like its bigger brother software-defined networking. SD-WAN architecture will be explained more in methodology. So let's go with comparison between traditional WAN and SD-WAN. Okay, so for traditional WAN, first a conventional approach of managing a wide area network. Next, it fails to give improved WAN management flexibility. Next, it takes a long time to set up the new configuration and scale it up. Network setup, transient circuits are used, which necessitates human interactions. Traditional ones also offers a low cost but high-speed internet access. Next, because it connects to an intermediate hub before connecting to the cloud, it gives a low performance for cloud applications. Next, data centers' capacity to cope with incoming connection to numerous cloud platforms is visited in traditional one. Next, for SD-WAN, software-defined WAN is a software-defined approach to wide area network management. Next, it allows for greater WAN management flexibility. Next, it takes relatively little time to set up a new configuration and scale it up. The network configuration in SD-WAN is done automatically without the need of human participation, and SD-WAN also offers a low cost, which is with high-speed internet access and great performance for cloud-based application. Comparison between traditional and SD-WAN will be explained in our report. Next, we go for methodology, and I will pass to the next presenter.
So I will explain about how the SD-WAN works. In this explanation of SD-WAN consists of two types of which the overlay network and the controller. SD-WAN are created by the connecting location by encrypted tunnels called overlay network. This overlay network enables the IT to remotely configure, manage, monitor, and secure most aspects of the WAN, including edge devices and traffic flows. For the SD-WAN controller, it is centralized control plane, means that the network administrator can write new rules and policies and then configure and deploy them across an entire network at once. Next is I will tell the example of the SD-WAN which Cisco SD-WAN works. In this Cisco SD-WAN composes of 4 segregated planes, which are orchestration plane, management plane, control plane, and data plane. Firstly is the Cisco vManage. This SD-WAN system management plane is Cisco vManage. It controls the systems to user interface and serves as the dashboard that network administrators utilize on a regular basis. Next is the Cisco vBond. This SD-WAN system and the orchestration plane use Cisco vBond, which function to manage the onboarding of new unconfigured devices into SD-WAN network. The next one is Cisco vSmart. Cisco vSmart is used in the control plane. The overlay fabric brings is the vSmart controller. As we can see in these three sections here, the routing, policies, and security are all advertised. In this control plane topology, they are positioned as hub routers, and all B-ish routers communicate with the vSmart controller between MPLS, Internet, 4.5 and 5G. For the Cisco B-ish is on the data plane. They lie at the 1-ish, which is the cloud, DC, campus, and branch, where they create the network fabric and connect to the SD-WAN over there. So I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, next we will continue with features of SD-WAN that consists of 7 parts: resilience, quality of service, deployment options, application optimizations, security, ownership, engineering, and administration and troubleshooting. So we continue with the problems of WAN.
Hi, my name is Noain binti Muhammad Faizal, and my metric number is 142, and today I'll be continuing this presentation by presenting the problems of WAN solved by SD-WAN and also the problems that may arise once SD-WAN has been properly implemented. So the problems of WAN that have been solved by SD-WAN are cost, security, agility, management, performance, delay, and also bandwidth. As for the problems of SD-WAN that will arise once this protocol has been properly implemented, the problems are time to deploy and also adaptation. So we're going to touch on the first problems of WAN that has been solved by SD-WAN, which is the cost. So SD-WAN has reduced a lot of ongoing operating expenses by switching from costly carrier-grade MPLS connection to commodity broadband like fiber and mobile technologies that are way cheaper than the previous ones I've mentioned. And as for the security, SD-WAN has managed to minimize the damage of bridge by segmenting the encrypted WAN traffic as it changes location. It also can help in detecting the breach quicker by letting the IT administrators to monitor the amount and types of traffic on the network. This is possible to be done because SD-WAN allows the use of the VPN, virtual private network. And as for agility, SD-WAN has improved a lot. SD-WAN has helped WAN in improving its agility by making it easier for the main office to deploy this WAN service. It allows users to set up the network using whichever ISP or internet service provider that is most appropriate to the location without having to have a skilled person to be that. And as for the management of SD-WAN is a whole lot simpler than WAN as it is a central cloud architecture-based network. So the cloud-based network is the hosting of some or all of an organization's networking resources in the cloud. Hence, it makes it easier for the business to scale across from many endpoints. As for the performance, SD-WAN has increased the performance by securely and intelligently directing traffic across the WAN and directly to the trusted software as a service or SaaS and infrastructure as a service IaaS providers that it uses as a centralized function. And when we're talking about delay, there's a lot of delay that we know, which are the processing delay, the queuing delay, transmission delay, and propagation delay. So how SD-WAN has solved all this delay is by allowing enterprises to take advantage of the inexpensive broadband without having to sacrifice the quality of the service. And as for the bandwidth, as we all know, low or insufficient bandwidth has always been the problem for WAN. So to fix this, SD-WAN has enabled economical bandwidth expansion by aggregating any type of WAN circuits from any provider in order to eliminate congestion or to provide fast responses to individual applications flows. And as for the problems that might rise once SD-WAN has been properly implemented, is that the time to deploy and also the adaptation. As for the time to deploy, since SD-WAN is still new, it is still relatively new, and visit papers, as you can see, it is dated on 2020 and 2021. So the users or the ones who's been using SD-WAN will be having a hard time to deploy SD-WAN. And as for the adaptation, for example, if a business decides to switch from WAN to SD-WAN, the staff of the business may find it difficult to comprehend SD-WAN. Hence, they will need a skilled staff to operate SD-WAN. Then they need to send the staff to classes to learn about SD-WAN, to troubleshoot SD-WANs. So business with low budgets will see this as a problem, and they will eventually stick to the traditional WAN. And that's it for my part for the problems of WAN solved by SD-WAN, so the problems of SD-WAN.
The first one is a suggestion improvement for SD-WAN, so in terms of security, interface, and management. The first one, interface, which is adaptation. So cloud primarily based totally offerings and infrastructure have ended up more and more famous in the recent years. particularly in light of pandemic. So SD-WAN community design ought to consist of successfully and securely connecting customers to the public and a personal cloud programs as a company's sources and IT infrastructure circulate from an on-premise statistics center to the cloud. So these may be hard as an organization undertake and dispense multi-cloud environments. So company required cloud native, secure, virtualized SD-WAN answer with the equal feasibility and scalability as a user to cloud infrastructure connection. The next one is a complexity. So due to the complexity of SD-WAN configuration, the users often make a small mistake due to a wrong configuration that can on occasion cause a primary mistake. So SD-WAN also vulnerable to digital and packet loss. And SD-WAN centralize all the unit and connection. As a result, the use of SD-WAN constantly result in the new issues. So in terms of security, we need to use a high performance firewall. So the majority SD-WAN answer encompass an integrated firewall. However, those are completely stateful firewall are the simplest of a layer 3 safety and packet filtering. This firewall can be powerful at limiting unauthorized get right of entry to primarily based totally on IP address and port. However, they lack the give up insurance that branch out organization demand. So the answer to this is use a next era firewall like instruction detection and prevention system IDPS, deep packet inspection DPI, sandboxing, fact loss prevention, and different superior function are blanketed in this contemporary firewall. And the last one, to improve in terms of management trade-off. Originally, company needed to determine how their company could be controlled. Companies can cope with the whole thing in-house, outsource infrastructure deployment and preservation to the control provider, or break up the responsibilities. So SD-WAN is a digital overlay on pinnacle of organization community infrastructure. They give a tremendous advantage while additionally posing a control challenge. So SD-WAN solution may be constructed on the pinnacle of lots of infrastructure system and might consist of tools from more than one vendor. This is making them difficult to manage and update. So those are the things that I think suggestion for improvement of SD-WAN.
Okay, so we have reached to our conclusion. So in conclusion, students are able to understand the concept and study of SD-WAN architecture and the use of it. SD-WAN enables various industries, especially businesses, to easily adjust their network requirements to their applications. And finally, all industries like business, health, smart buildings, and others throughout the world are undergoing significant digital transformation to improve their activities and competitiveness, necessitating the use of SD-WAN solution. So that's all for our video. Thank you for watching.